Welcome back to FPL Banter podcast. Myself, Mopey. You got Woody.
Hello.
Yeah, and Swabbers.
Hey, how's it going?
Back at it for another week. It's a Friday evening fixture, so don't forget.
Get your teams done now. Get in.
We don't need any Woody excuses last minute. Oh, I forgot my team, which is why I dropped 60 points.
No, that definitely happened a couple of times last season. That wasn't paying much attention last season. This season,
this Friday evening thing is a new. That's a new thing, right?
No, it happens.
I don't think it was there last season.
Don't mug me off. Of course it was. Just not as often. It does happen. It happens, mate.
Yeah.
So it happens. It always has happened in my living memory, but just not very often. More often this season, I think.
Well, things are heating up now because of the outside elements like the Champions League, the FA Cup and stuff. So it's kind of messing with the game weeks. And already got a double game week this week with Spurs coming up, which is nice.
Yeah, we've got an interesting dynamic kind of going within our personal league, right? We have, is it your father, Woody?
Oh,
or
man,
your brother, who was kind of bottom for most of the season. And now all of a sudden he just shot right up to third.
He's demonstrated the power of the differential. So he got on Iheanacho, Lacazette, Lingard train. I think before they were. I think he got it even before the train even left the station. We were looking at it, I was like, what's he doing? And then all of a sudden, 3 weeks in a row, they've nailed it. And he's right back up in contention. Trouble is, as he said now, that his differentials will now no longer be differentials because everyone's going to buy him. So he's actually thinking of dropping them and getting other differentials. So
that's a risky move though, because differentials run out after a point. You know, there's not everyone's a differential.
I mean, it just goes to show if you're at the bottom of the league with nothing to lose, just throwing a Hail Mary out there of someone that, why not?
I mean, it's just a different strategy. And to be honest, it's arguably more fun when you can experiment a bit rather than trying to get players everyone has and so on.
See, this is why I like the idea of sort of having two teams in like two leagues or something, where you can have your one, core team where you're really serious and, you don't want to mess around with that one. But then another team where you're just like, you know what? I'm going to get Emil Smith-Rowe. See what happens.
Yeah, but guys like you will then pick and choose which team you want to talk about more. I'm doing really well in my that of course is my A team.
Yeah, can you average the two over the season? I don't know.
And knowing you, because you're such a snake, you probably have like 10 teams, and then you just say it's two and just pick the best two.
No, but I mean, if we had two leagues, two personal leagues, two teams.
Anyway, I want to do a special shout out in our league to all the members have 1,800 plus points. So that's what's this? Tala 1799. Oh, awkward. Anyway, sorry about that.
Do I have 1,800 plus?
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah.
Oh wow,
1814 over here.
God, check me out.
Oh yeah, the 1800 club. That's what we call it. Anyway.
No, but it's because Eric, you've been copying Tal's team the whole game, the whole season. It's not about him taking minus 16 hits or minus 12 hits. Got nothing to do with that. It's because you're copying him.
It's actually my fault. Anyway, so our team this week did all right, I would say. Given that the average was quite low and at 41, we came in with 55, which is respectable, I would say.
8 points off the deep bench, which is always good. Mountain Zinchenko came on.
That's right.
Bumped us up to, from 47 to 55.
No Dallas, though. No Dallas, guys.
Yeah.
We missed it.
Yeah, we captained him a week too early, didn't we? We did him last week.
We did.
Before last. That was foolish.
Woody does Dallas.
I'm so happy I had him on. He was like my second sub? And then none of my first team actually played, so then he came on. It's the only reason I got any halfway decent points.
He was my third sub. I was painful. He didn't come on. He was nowhere near coming on. It was the worst.
No, it's frustrating.
Do you reckon the City are bottling it at the moment?
No.
Could they bottle it?
As in the league?
No. Yeah, I don't know. Just not bottling it probably is a bit too much. I'm hopeful because I'm a United fan, but losing against Leeds, I mean, that was a good game. It was a good game, but it's just that they can afford to lose a few of these. You know what I mean? They're obviously focused on the Champions League and then probably the FA Cup final.
Well, United are on 31 games, City are on 32, and United have 63 points. So let's assume they win their next game, put them level on the City. That's 66. Which puts them on 7 points difference, right?
8 points, but yeah.
Wow. maybe we don't do the maths in public, yeah?
7 + 1 is what I was referring to. And the good news is that you only have to win 3 games and then you have to lose 3. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And City haven't lost a game, I think. Well, they've lost 4 games, yeah. So they've lost 4 games all season. So have we, apparently, according to the stats. So, I'm kind of hopeful. I mean, it'd be amazing if we were to get back in there, but it's looking tight. It's looking tight.
Yeah, no, I think City. I think it might come close. They might drop a few points, but I think they're still going to win it.
Yeah. No, it'd be shambolic if they didn't.
Exactly.
But anyway, back to our point. So so City.
Who were the big standout fixtures? Yeah, what are we?
Yeah, results wise. That's 2 weeks ago, Eric. Bring us up to actual last week's results. Thanks, mate. Jesus,
getting a lot of hate today.
Yeah.
A lot of hate.
Well, you're doing a lot. You're not starting too well. I suppose the thing I know we all said why we picked our team, the West Brom recovery. We were like, it was just because Chelsea had 10 men. It's just a flash in the pan, blah blah. But then 3-0 against Southampton, and they played really well.
Yeah,
and
that
could have been more.
That was really weird game. Like I watched that and I was like, I do not know what's going on with Southampton at the moment. Southampton players. You've got Ings in there. Che Adams came in as well. But I mean, there really were. I don't remember there being any kind of attacking threat really from the Southampton side.
No, there really wasn't. And it is strange. I'm not sure why he's got into this pattern. It's a little bit like Solskjaer being addicted to playing Fernandes. Hasenhüttl seems to have become addicted to playing Redmond with Ings or Adams rather than playing Ings and Adams, which is weird because when Ings and Adams played together earlier in the season, they were really good. They linked up really well. Yeah. And Redmond's more of a wide player for me. Like, I don't think he's good through the centre, but he's constantly doing it. And it's weird. These managers seem to get in these little mental states and they can't break themselves out of it. It's well, they haven't been playing very well in that system. So he also needs to change it.
I'm not sure if anyone else had this, but I didn't actually watch the Crystal Palace Chelsea game, but I was kind of keeping an eye on the score, and I saw. Well, initially I think it went up to 3-0, did it, or 4-0, and then came to 4-1.
I think it was 4-0.
Anyway, I was a bit concerned because I don't own any Chelsea defense, and I know everyone else has Azpilicueta and Alonso and all this. And I was thinking, right, there's going to be a couple of assists and bonus points and all that, and then last minute Crystal Palace score and nothing. I was like, yes.
Yeah. And Mount's the new he's the new Bednarek. He's the bonus point magnet. So he got got the 1 assist, whereas Havertz gets a goal and an assist, and
showing Werner how to play his position basically.
Yeah.
So which is the opposite of Salah, who's the bonus point sort of allergy man because he scored in his last 2 games, didn't get any BPs. Yeah. Nothing.
Well, speaking of that, okay, so there's two. I think there's 2 things. There's 2. Are they back, baby? 1. Arsenal, and 2, Liverpool. Let's start with Arsenal because let's do Liverpool. Well, we're just talking about that game. So
Liverpool, it's an easy one for me. They've got nothing else to play for than top 4, so they have to smash it now in the Premier League, and their fixtures are really decent.
Yeah. How would you feel about Trent? Is Trent back to old Trent, or has he just had a few good games and got lucky fixtures?
Well, I reckon Klopp loves him. Klopp loves him more than his own children. So he's going to play every game. So, and look, he's got Leeds, Newcastle, United, and then it's Southampton, West Brom, Burnley, Crystal Palace till the end of the season.
Yeah, Liverpool really,
it's not bad, is it? And I think he's nailed.
But I cannot tell you how livid I am about Trent. I literally had him all season up until 3 weeks ago when all you guys were telling me, when are you going to drop Trent? When are you finally going to get rid of him? Come on, he's rubbish. Fine, I'll do it. I'll drop him. And he's got 32 points in those 3 weeks.
Yeah, but that's when we lost. We still had a shred of respect left for you when you kept him all season. And then when you dropped him, we lost all respect. That was it.
Yeah. That was it.
But Arsenal, I mean, Lacazette is looking good. He played really well last night.
Yeah, he did play well last night. Yeah. He really did. Yeah.
I tell you what, weirdly, when they've got their youngsters on, like it was when Saka and Smith Rowe, they know each other from like the academy days and all that stuff, and England under whatever's. When they play, like they make Pepe better, and they make Lacazette better. Like that's definitely their best forward line. is
some good news for Lacazette as well is that Oba's got malaria. Sorry, Oba. I hope you're recovering well. And he said he was on Twitter. To be fair, he's fine. He said he was fine, but I don't think he's going to be playing anytime soon because even if he sort of recovers, I think that disease takes a lot out of you for a while. So
yeah, it does.
Sounds like Laka will be nails-ish.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair with the form, even if Oba was playing, I think Laka would still be running through the middle, and you'd have, I don't know, Saka, Oba, and Smith Rowe or Odegaard, whoever's about behind him.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the big game of the game week, Spurs versus United.
Yeah, I bet when they were 1-0 down, I bet you were livid.
My wife was looking at me. She saw how nervous I was. she was trying to crack some jokes, and I was like, I'm not having any of it. I'm focused on watching the game. And look at those guys who scored: Fred, Greenwood, and Cavani.
Once again, I think people who were in the league who were playing against other people who maybe had Captain Fernandes were probably pooping themselves, thinking, "Oh no, they're gonna smash it." I saw 3-1 again. I didn't have time to watch that game, and I just like you said, Fred, Greenwood, what?
I mean, is Cavani worth a punt? Because he seems to have got back up to playing 90 minutes and full match fitness, and he's banging them in.
I think he's very good.
One in Europa.
I think he could be a good shout. Yeah, exactly. And he got involved. I mean, the Fred goal was basically a Cavani goal because it just came off the bar, I think, or it came off. Fred was just there to smash it in.
Yeah.
So Cavani basically created both of those goals. So I think he is a very good.
Just going back on Woody's comments, banging them in. That's one goal in the last 9 games. That's
well, it's 2 if you include Europa,
which I'm not.
All right, what about I mean, he was injured. He had a little bit of a knock, so that's why he wasn't playing in those games. So
he's a differential. If he's got a deep bench, it's not a bad idea.
He's an expensive differential, though.
It's true.
How much is he? 7.4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's write off Cavani. It's too expensive for
what he brings.
For he may or may not bring
the return.
You want a differential? No, sorry, he's not a differential anymore. But you want someone worth having? Lingard, J-Lings, my boy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what he's been doing. The form he's in. How many people own him now?
It's 27.7, which is pretty high. I mean, the thing is, he deserves it. He's playing so well. I can't even hate on the guy.
Yeah,
but this is why, for me as a United fan, I'm kind of happy for him to do well. But I also I'm kind of thinking, because I was reading an article from Paul Merton, and he was saying that it's better. I know, random.
Weird that you quoted him.
Merton or Merton, the comedian or the footballer?
No, the footballer.
That's Paul Merson, isn't it?
Merson.
Paul Merson.
Merton.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Merton's the comedian on. Have you got?
You did not.
This
is a recording. This is a recording. We will go back and check if that's.
I edit it.
If Paul Merton, if you're listening to Paul Merton's commentary on Jesse Lingard, then I don't know what website you're on.
Anyway,
bit in his stand-up.
So he was saying that Lingard, it's actually good that Lingard is doing well because it just means that United should be able to sell him for a good price. Because I do think that it'll be very hard for him to get back into the fold of United because we've got some very creative midfielders and forwards. So, I mean, I wish he could come back to United, but I think just him being in London, being in West Ham, being in a team that kind of, are built sort of around him to a certain extent, I think that's good for his ego, good for his confidence. And I think if we sell him for a good price, I don't think that'll be bad. He's 28 at the end of the day. So,
yeah. I mean, I think it's the reason he's doing so well is that it's the pressure at United to perform. It's just, which is, like you say, why they've got the players they have there at the moment. They're not playing as well as Jesse Lingard, but that's probably because they're playing at United.
Yeah.
If Greenwood went to West Ham, I'm sure he'd be banging them in,
Yeah.
Let's not forget that even though Lingard played well, our boy Iheanacho showed up with 2 goals as well.
But the weird thing about him is he kind of does nothing all game, and you think, oh God, he's going to bring him off because he's not doing anything, and then he just gets a brace, nothing, or a hat trick against Sheffield.
And it was very. To be fair, the first goal was amazing, and the second goal was just great positioning. So I mean, again, can't argue. The guy's playing really well.
Yeah, which is again why he's one of the most transferred in this week.
Yeah,
I think the most. Well, shall we? Should we talk about the team then?
Yeah, I think we've covered the highlights of last week. The the big things to whet the appetite.
Well, okay, so our team fits in the 100 mil budget, and if you're thinking of wildcarding, this is the week to do it because we've got a good team for you.
Well, I think as you bring that up, actually, I think I am going to have to wildcard, and I'm probably going to do this team because that put the money where the mouth is because of all the injuries.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who've got knocks and niggles and stuff. So this may well be the week to do a wildcard.
Even though I've got a lot of these players, I want them to get injured just to wind you up after your wildcard. I want Jay Links to break his leg. No, that's too mean. I want Jay Links to kind of like hurt himself a little bit, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I'm so unlucky."
So 1 week I get him.
Yeah. Right. Well, you know my rule. I can't do defense if you've selected an Arsenal player, which you have. So who's taking defense?
I'll do defense. I haven't done it in a while.
I don't think that's a rule.
It's a rule.
It's a new made-up rule.
Mm.
I'll do the D.
Do the D. Take the D.
Okay. How is that not believe? No. I've been told to be good on this podcast.
The D. The defense. What do you think I mean? What do you think I'm talking about?
Anyway, so cracking on. So we're going for a 3-4-3 currently. We've also bench boosted, but that's for the end of the. We'll mention that later.
That's just for us.
That's vanity.
That's for us.
Yeah.
So we have Mendy in goal. They're playing Brighton at home. They've been pretty tight at the back. I mean, except for the last couple of games, Chelsea, unfortunately. But we reckon that Brighton have been misfiring. It was a 0-0 draw against Everton last game week, so we're feeling kind of hopeful. Our backup goalkeeper is Sam Johnston, who are playing West Brom, obviously keeper, playing against Leicester, who apparently United are considering to bring him back or want to bring him back, which I'm kind of like, meh.
United just owns every goalkeeper in the Premier League. It's weird.
I don't get it. They're chasing another goalkeeper, another like first team goalkeeper. I've forgotten his name, which would help, but I'll think about it. But I don't get it because you've got De Gea leaving and you got Hendo who's kind of being like, oh yeah, I've got my position now.
Is De Gea definitely leaving? Is he?
Yeah, I think he is. Is apparently. There's words. There's been words been had. Anyway, so then we have Sace. Wolves against Sheffield United. As we know, Sheffield United have really not been delivering at all season.
Did you see Saïs took a free kick the other day and he almost scored?
Yeah.
He's everywhere, that guy. Now.
Yeah. The one concern I have about Saïs is that if Bolly is back and they stick to a 4-4-2, Saïs might not play. Now, I had a little dig back through when Bolly was fit, and when he was fit, before he got injured or got COVID, whatever, they were playing 3 or 5 at the back, depending how you look at it. So there's just that outside chance if Bolly's back, he might go with Cody and Bolly, and Saïs might not play. But just throwing that out there. Pick it up if you want.
I honestly feel like resting Saïs would be like PSG resting Neymar. It just doesn't make any sense.
I don't think you can compare the two.
He has that presence. I'm telling you.
There's just that bear in mind. And also, I was just going to mention with the goalkeeper as well. Well, Mendy's a good shout. I would also just like to throw in a couple of alternatives of Leno and Patricio. We just don't want to double up. I think that's why we've gone with Mendy, because we like to spread around our cleanies in case we don't get a cleanie. But also good shouts.
Yeah. And then we move on to Reguilon. Spurs, obviously, if you don't know, there's a double game week for Spurs. You've been living under a rock, I don't know. But we've got Reguilon, who Spurs are playing Everton and then Southampton. Now, the difficulty here is, I guess we can talk about it later, is whether all these players will actually start both games.
Alex, as we were discussing before, and Woody missed this, but Woody, in front of you here is the Spurs defense list. Yeah. Who's their backup left back? If Reggie doesn't play, who are they going to play? Well, because I can't see anyone.
Yeah, no, exactly. With Davies out, the only other shout would probably be Tanganga on his weaker foot. But
he usually is right back if he needs to be anyway, right?
Exactly. So, no, you're right. It's if Reguilon's fit, he's playing.
Yeah.
So that's Reguilon, and he hasn't been delivering yet. Definitely won't be in the clean sheet area because I think maybe not Everton or maybe not Southampton. Maybe it will be cleanies. I don't know, because DCL is still injured anyway. So there's all kinds of questions to be asked there.
Yeah.
But hopefully cleanies and some assists from Reguilon. That's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
Then we have Shaw, United playing Burnley. He didn't play yesterday because he had 2 yellows in the Europa, so he was suspended for that game. So he'll definitely be playing this game week. It's against Burnley, who also haven't been scoring many goals, who aren't doing too well. So we're hoping for a clean again and an assist. And then we have on the bench, we have Chambers, Arsenal defense, which is why Eric didn't want to do the big D, who are playing Fulham. And again, another team that aren't really firing on all cylinders. So there could be a cleanie there. And then we have good old Dallas, who...
But again, though, he's last sub. Well, I know, granted, we've done the bench boost, but I mean, do you play Dallas this week? A lot of people are going to be wondering this. Do you play Dallas?
I'd say, honestly, looking at like, you think, it's Liverpool, whatever. So it's a tough fixture. But I just, because of what he said on Twitter, or whatever it was, like, I heard a lot of people benched me. You shouldn't bench me. I'm out there to score goals. I just remember 2 seasons ago when it was old Fraser Wilson at Bournemouth. I remember at the start of the season, Fraser said something in a thing about FPL. He was like, "This season, guys should play me because this season I'm out there to score goals." And that was the season where they like broke the record of like goals and assists and stuff. So I feel like when a player comes out and says that, maybe you should listen to him. I don't know why. I've just got that feeling after the Fraser incident.
Yeah, but I personally, I'm playing him. And, like we said, we're doing a bench boost, so it doesn't really matter. But honestly, if it was me now, I'd bring him in for Saiss or Shaw on the pitch in our team.
I would probably go for Shaw. But
should we do it?
I think we should. I think we're fools not to. They'll be laughing at us.
Let's just do it.
If he gets another brace.
I disagree with this. Just note that I disagree with this.
Yeah. Well,
democracy. She's a cruel mistress.
She is. But
right, just quickly, to interject, I just remembered who the goalkeeper was that United are apparently targeting, Martinez.
Oh, really? But
Martinez. So I'm kind of like, why would you do that?
And why would Villa let him go?
To create competition? Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. Anyway, my point is,
imagine letting Martinez go. I mean, what team would do that?
What team would ever do that?
Muppets.
And then apparently they're not even offering Bert Leno a contract yet. They haven't offered him a new contract. So I really don't know what Arsenal are planning.
Leno he's been.
No, Leno's a good keeper. Leno is a good keeper. It's just, it's their playing out from the back has let down his stats because you got Xhaka and people like that receiving the ball on the half turn on the 18-yard box, and they're just not really those kind of players.
I think they got rid of the wrong goalkeeper, personally. I think Martinez is better.
But then I don't know how is Martinez with his feet. He's a great shot stopper, like probably the best in the league. Like, he's up there. But I don't know what his footwork's like. You know what I mean? And
yeah, but asking, this whole goalkeeper footwork, that's a new thing. Like, that's like asking what Aguero's like in goals. I just really don't think it should be a huge. I feel like people make too much of a big deal out of it. Passing the ball shouldn't be like a big deal for a goal.
Yeah, or you're like Lionel Messi, not very good in the air. You know what I mean? You'd be like, don't get him. He's not great from set pieces.
Exactly.
In the defender.
Exactly. Being a shot stopper is a pretty good thing to be skillful at as a goalkeeper.
It's probably job number 1. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'd also I just like to mention Chambers. Like, we put him in there. It's a deliberate decision. It's not just a throwaway thing because he seems to be more of a nailed right back than Bellerin at the moment, and he played really well in the Europa and really well against Sheffield United. Like, he's cheap, dirt cheap, and they've got good fixtures, and they've got a few good fixtures.
I think Arteta was recently made aware of Bellerin's catwalk experience for Louis Vuitton or Gucci, and he was just like, "Get out of my team." That's what I heard. Right, midfield.
I'll do the middies if you like.
Yeah.
I think we'll start with the obvious one is Son. Why wouldn't you? So we've already laboured the double fixture thing, and he's Son. So he's obviously a shoo-in for this week. Fernandes, just because you can't not play him, and he got a whole 17-minute rest.
But can't you, though?
Once they were 3-0 up. So
honestly, I've heard of people dropping Fernandes now. They're just getting a little bit tired of the lack of points because he's pricey, and it's not a bad time to drop him. I mean, especially if you're bringing in someone like KDB. I mean, I'm not saying necessarily this week, but there are other options now.
There are other options.
I think so.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't understand why Ole doesn't rest him for one. But like you said, he only needs one penno in a 1-0 game, and he's got all the BPs, and he's getting a haul. So I think you got to keep him. Of course, then next we've got Jailings. Again, he's just in such good form. They're playing Newcastle away, which on the first game of the season was not a good result. So I think they're going to want some payback for that. It was 2-0, I think, at home. And yeah, everyone else has bought him, so why wouldn't we? And then finishing out the 4 starters, a little bit of a differential with the options out there, but maybe not. Depends how you feel about it. Is Jota? Just he didn't play the full match against Real, so he's been rested. So he's likely to start, or more likely to start. And even if he doesn't, he still comes off the bench and bangs in a couple of goals. And they're playing Leeds, so it's good potential for scoring. And then just on the bench, we've got Maddison, who is back from both injury and internal disciplinary COVID matters. So he's probably got a bit of a point to prove, and they're playing at home to West Brom.
Apparently, Brendan Rodgers found out they're having a house party, and he rocked up, and they're all how I see it is they're all partying, dancing, and then there's boom, boom, boom on the door. And apparently him and whoever else was Jose Perez hid in this dark room. You just imagine Brendan Rodgers going through the bedrooms and be like, where are they? Where are they? And he found them.
I'll find you.
They were both sort of crouching under the staircase. Yeah. So yeah, we're glad he got over that.
But surely if Brendan went into the party, he's then also breaching COVID rules.
No. He was wearing hazmat, mate.
Okay.
All good.
This sounds like this kind of story that might not be real. But yeah, so Leicester still playing for challenging for top 4, and they've had a couple of bad results. So I think they want to get back, right the ship. So that's why Madders is in the team.
Right, and on to the forwards, unsurprisingly, because we were talking about it before, Lacazette with his form and the fact that Oba is out for a while. The only issue with Lacazette is he could get rested. He's been playing a lot of minutes, so hopefully he doesn't. But
for whom?
If he does play, well, Martinelli, for example, that's happened. It's unlikely, but it could happen. I mean, or at least manage his minutes.
Yeah.
They've also played Pepe up front as well.
Yeah, I guess he might not do the full 90 if they're sort of 2-0 up.
Yeah, but the good news is he's on penalties and he's in form. So playing Fulham and the rest of their fixtures are pretty good. So it could be one for the end of the season, isn't it? And then we have, unsurprisingly, Harry Kane in his double game week, currently with the armband on there, which we can discuss. But anyway, Harry Kane doesn't need much introduction, double game week. And finally, Iheanacho, purely because it makes sense. Great fixtures, scoring goals, and cheap, so allows you to kind of rearrange the rest of your team. So it's kind of like a perfect sub for DCL or someone that like Antonio. So that's the strikers. Captains.
I think it speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? I think you've already mentioned it, and I think you'd be stupid to do anything else. It'd be between Son and Kane.
Could it be Son?
Yeah, that's the only choice. That's the only decision you'd have to make. But just the fact that Kane's on pennos, and you think over a season, Son's a higher point scorer than Kane's a higher point scorer generally than Son anyway. So I think Kane.
I think this week is an easy one. We're going safe this time.
Nah, let's differential. Let's go crazy.
Johnston.
Let's go Iheanacho.
Okay. The only thing I want to ask opinions here on this is, so obviously Spurs have the double game week, and then the second game is on Wednesday, and then at the weekend they then play their final of the cup. And so, one could imagine that Jose has to balance sort of winning the Premier League games, but also the chance of silverware is basically this is his only opportunity. So, are we going to see rests? Are we going to see them play one game or half a game? 1.5 games?
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe if they're up and winning, if it's 3-0 to Southampton, then you'll see the guys come off. But I think he's going to start because he still needs the points. He still needs to win. And, weekend Wednesday, weekend, and then next week off because that's not that busy in the grand scheme of things. If they were still in Europe, then maybe, because there'd already be some tired legs, but they've had a good rest this week. They've had a whole week off. So it's not that intense. Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday is not that, or Sunday. So I think he'll play a strong team, every team. I don't think there'll be much rotation or resting, to be honest. But with that in mind, also just other things to mention about next week, because of that, Fulham, Southampton, Spurs and City all not playing. So just bear that in mind if you've got someone with a knock or someone you're thinking of, bringing them in because they've got a good fixture. Don't forget, next week,
that's a good point.
They ain't playing. And the other thing I just wanted to highlight, and a brief discussion, is just the fact that we have no City players.
Yeah. And I'd be interested in your opinions. My opinion is basically it's too risky. Just don't know who will play. And to be fair, City have a lot going on. They're in 4 competitions. So I just think it's investment of funds, right? You don't want to pay for a player that's not going to play.
But that being said, with this team, we do have quite a deep bench. So if you've got Maddison coming on, would you not think, well, I'll put KDB in because if he plays, he'll probably do well. And if he doesn't, I've got Maddison.
Why are you like this?
I'm just saying because people might be like, well, because they're like, why haven't you got any City? And I agree, it's sensible. I think there are other players out there because they're more guaranteed to start. But if you do have a deep bench, then why not a little bit of Cancelo?
Because he doesn't tend to. Does Pep tend to sub KDB in or not?
No,
it happens very rarely. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess.
And in fact, in the last game, KDB started warming up and everything, and he started taking off the yellow the bib. And
I saw that. I was like,
oh god. Back on and I don't know what happened, but obviously all the KDB owners probably disappointed with that. But
yeah. Well, no, because I know when I got Dallas coming on, so actually I was very happy about
that. Yeah, true. Okay. All right. Well, look, we're running out of time here, so gonna have to wrap it up. But we'll be back next week, of course. And best of luck with your punts this week. I hope it goes well.
With your what?
And don't forget, last thing to mention, this game week it's a very rare thing, but only one team not playing. Huh?
Yeah. It's a strange one, isn't it?
Which is Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace. And that stands to the fact that there's only one team with a double game week. That took us about 10 minutes to figure out. Alex and I, we were trying to figure out what the other team was.
Yeah. It's really weird, isn't it? I don't know how. Yeah, it's obviously scheduling this season's been a nightmare. So, yeah. And as Eric was telling us earlier, if he was following some bloke on Twitter that's saying it all might come up, but get thrown up in the air towards the end of the season as well, because they might rearrange fixtures so that fans can attend. So
there's rumors, double game week 35. So just rumors.
Well, there you go. Quickly, we've got a minute left. With that in mind, would you play your triple captain this week?
I already wasted my triple captain on a previous game week, so I'm a bad guy to ask.
But if you had a triple captain, would you throw it in on Kane this week, or would you wait to see what shakes out with the rest of the fixtures?
I would.
You would?
I would.
Yeah.
Everton and Southampton aren't performing at the moment, so I think they're good. They're good ones.
And you just never know what the other double game weeks might throw up, and it might give you a bit of an edge.
Exactly.
True. All right, guys. We'll see you all next week.
Ciao, ciao.
Yep. Bye.